Welcome to Fuel Disclosure, a Moffitt Services podcast. On this show, you will learn how Moffitt Services is pioneering the fuel delivery industry. From fuels and lubricant product news, to stories from the community, to recent industry trends with subject matter experts. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a moment from Moffitt. To learn even more about the Moffitt Services difference, visit moffittservices.com.
My name is Felicia Newman, and I'm with Moffitt Services. I am Business Development Manager of the outside sales team. Today, I have Lorena McCalister here with me.
Good morning, Felicia. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Excellent, excellent.
So today, we want to talk about Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel. Can you tell me a little bit about what the product is?
Of course. Before I do so, let me introduce myself.
Yes.
So folks know who I am and why I'm part of this little episode. Thank you for having me, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm Lorena McCalister, like you said. I'm the field marketing advisor here at ExxonMobil, and I support the product Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel throughout the U.S. So I work with companies like Moffitt Services to help you become successful in selling and distributing this product to your customers. So with that as an introduction, what is Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel, right? That was the question.
That was
you
the
asked me?
question, yes.
Yeah. So Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel is essentially on-spec or on-specification diesel fuel that we all know and love and use today in all our diesel engines. And the difference between kind of unbranded diesel fuel or regular fuel or conventional fuel, if you call it that way, and Mobil Diesel Efficient is that we actually provide a next generation diesel fuel. What that means to customers is that we additize it at the terminal, and that additive is actually a patented detergent additive that we blend into on-spec diesel fuel to provide you some consistent benefits when you use the fuel. So that's essentially what it is. Ultimately, it's designed to help customers improve their bottom line. And I'll probably share a little more details on that here very soon.
So I have a lot of customers that are like, Felicia, fuel is fuel. What do you say to that when they come to you and they say that? And as you know, as I'm trying to sell the fuel, what would you say or what would you do?
Absolutely. It's a legitimate question. I mean, diesel fuel has been a commodity for many, many years. And I think folks are skeptical as to how is this different? You know, how is Mobil Diesel Efficient different from what I've been buying for 30 plus years? And what I would say to them is Mobil Diesel Efficient is what you know and love, you know, on-spec diesel fuel. But the difference, again, is that we actually additize the fuel at the terminal. And this additive is actually a patented multifunctional detergent, and what that does, it actually cleans the fuel injectors in all diesel engines. And people ask, so what does that mean? How do I translate that into something that I can feel or see or actually put numbers against? And what that means is that when you have clean fuel injectors, you have a much more efficient combustion in the engine. And that translates into things like improved fuel economy, reduced CO2 emissions, which is a hot button for many folks these days, reduced NOx or nitrous oxides. And also what that means for fleet managers that are interested is in reduced unplanned maintenance, reduced downtime, what translates into more uptime, which is very important to customers that uptime is key. For example, construction firms that are very focused on, you know, meeting their schedules, staying on budget so they can maintain reputation and bid out for the next job. So that's the difference between Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel and unbranded diesel fuel.
Well, Moffitt is so excited to have a relationship with Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel. Our biggest thing is making sure that our customers get the best of the best. We strive in service. We strive in making sure that we can do everything in our power to make sure our customers are happy.
Yes, absolutely. So, you know, we at ExxonMobil team up with best-in-class resellers across the country. We do a lot of due diligence up front and make sure that we reach out to branded resellers that, in fact, value providing a high-quality portfolio of services and products to their customers, and that would value having a differentiated diesel fuel as part of their portfolio. And we align with these resellers to distribute this fuel to our customers or to your customers. We hope as a result of that your customers are happier by having a differentiated fuel that provides benefits that impact their bottom line. And also we hope that for Moffitt Services, it helps you grow your business and provide even more value to your customers.
Right. And that's exactly what we're looking for is, growing our business, making sure our name is out there. And our name is already out there. People know us for service, and we just want to keep striving. So
as an example to describe how Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel is different from regular unbranded diesel, Felicia likes to use this amazing example using chocolate milk, which she will demonstrate here.
Yes.
So first, she's going to take regular old white milk that you buy in the grocery store and pour it into her glass. This is essentially representation of the typical traditional unbranded diesel fuel that you've been getting for years and years. But for those of you that actually additize your fuel, you can kind of see the parallel here is the chocolate milk. So she's pouring the chocolate milk, just like your drivers may do the dosing of the additive into the tanks, or maybe you have companies that actually do the additive dosing into your, directly into your in-yard tanks. But you'll see she's stirring it, and if you look closely, the chocolate syrup globs up on the side of the glass, the bottom of the glass, not very consistent. The concentration of the syrup is somewhat haphazard, so the flavor might be inconsistent time over time. So that's a good example of customers that may want to try to do the additization themselves. It's not easy to make sure that it's the right concentration at the right temperature to deliver consistent benefits every time. Now, let's talk about Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel and how that might be perceived with respect to the chocolate milk example. So Felicia now is going to pour your grocery store-bought chocolate milk, and you'll see that it's consistently chocolatey top to bottom. There's no globs of syrup at the bottom. And guess what? It probably tastes the same every single time and every single sip. And the reason for that is this has all been pre-mixed in the factory at the right temperature, the right concentrations. Same kind of concept applies with Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel. The additive is added at the terminal at the right temperature, the right concentration. So anytime a customer picks it up, it's consistently the same product with the same benefits no matter where you are in the country in using the fuel. And the customers that use this fuel get the same performance benefits every time. We then took it further and worked with a third-party lab, Southwest Research in San Antonio, Texas, to make sure that we proved the benefits of diesel-efficient fuel. We ran a whole suite of tests. Very rigorous procedures were used to make sure that we could actually quantify and substantiate our claims of fuel economy improvement, CO2 reduction, and NOx reductions. And that's what makes also Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel different from other fuels, because we actually have third-party substantiated quantitative claims.
Well, thank you so much. It's really important when Moffitt's out there, we're building relationships with our customers. And like I said, we want to give the customers the best of the best. And that includes great quality product, fuel. Other customers that you've worked with or other partnerships or relationships you've built, can you tell me how it's saving them money and what the benefits are of using your product?
Absolutely. So we have relationships, and we've teamed up with a number of resellers like Moffitt Services throughout the country. And as a result of some of those relationships, we've been able to get a few video testimonials and proofs of performance. The latest one we just captured, which was really exciting, was the largest national private school bus fleet out of the Midwest. And they started using Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel last year in October, and they were able to see significant improvements. They saved, in terms of diesel particulate filter regens, and that translated to a significant savings to their bottom line. They used biodiesel as well, so they got some tax savings. And as a result, they actually came to us to tell the story because they were so excited about the results that they had seen. So that's one example. We have another example where a fuel delivery fleet also converted their entire fleet to Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel. And they actually saw a reduction in forced diesel particulate filter regens of 79%.
Wow.
Which is amazing. And that translates into significant reduction in unplanned maintenance, significant reduction in time the drivers are sitting on the side of the road waiting for that regen cycle to complete. And oh, by the way, the fleet maintenance manager, said, I'm thrilled. I don't get late night calls from my drivers on the side of the road complaining that they can't do anything until the regen cycle has been finished. And that took away time from his family at night because of these calls. So he was absolutely thrilled about that. And then the last example that I'll call to your attention, because I know a lot of your customers are in the construction area, is we had a reseller in the South, in fact, that they worked with a construction firm who actually did their own additizing. They had a third party that did the additization at their in-yard tanks, and they were beginning to question whether they were getting the full value of that service and that solution. A couple things came out. One is the additive had things it didn't really need because they were in the South. They had like a cold flow improver, which I don't know, in the South it doesn't get cold very often, if at all. And secondly, the calibration system wasn't necessarily always accurate. So when they converted to Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel, they got a fully formulated fuel, meaning that it's all been additized at the terminal. They were actually able to realize a 3 to 5 cent per gallon savings in their fuel and in their overall operation. So they were very, very happy with the transition to Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you talking with me today. Moffitt, like I said, we strive in service. We build relationships, and we are just so excited to be able to now give our customers even more of the best, of give them great quality fuel and also save them money. And we've already had some really good feedback. I was actually on the phone with my customer. They called and they said, oh my God, Felicia, more power, better equipment. I can't really put a pin on it. Don't know what it is, but I know it's definitely different. What would you say? What else should I say with my customer about saving money?
Absolutely. So we've heard the feedback similar to that all around the country. Sometimes they are able to quantify it. Sometimes it's just a feeling. It's better fuel mileage. It's better responsiveness. Improved power. And don't convert me back. Okay, is what we hear. So yeah, that's consistent with what we've heard around the country. What I would say to customers that are asking about how will I save when I convert to Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel? I would say Moffitt Services has access to a great tool, the Total Cost of Ownership Calculator, that we've developed specifically to help customers really understand the potential savings they could enjoy when they convert to Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel. It's not just about fuel economy. That's certainly very important and a big element of the calculator. But we look at things like DPF regens. We look at fuel filter changeouts. We look at the productivity of the equipment or the trucks. We look at both direct costs and indirect costs, and we quantify those in terms of cents per gallon savings over the course of the year across the entire fleet. In addition to that, in the Total Cost of Ownership Calculator, we're also able to help calculate the CO2 reduction savings. Nowadays, that's a very important element for those customers that are very focused on environmental and social governance, and they need to have a metric to report to. So the calculator provides both the bottom line savings as well as CO2 reduction savings.
That's good because we are super excited. I mean, we've only been having it for 9 months, but I can't wait to get more feedback from our customers that are using Mobil Diesel Efficient fuel.
Oh, so I look forward to working with Moffitt on a proof of performance and testimonial.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Fuel Disclosure, a Moffitt Services podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please be sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a moment from Moffitt. And if you're ready to take your business to the next level with a team that delivers industry-leading service and no downtime, visit us at moffittservices.com.